Alright, I probably went a little over the top, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and cover the locksmith bill. So I said, I'm not sure how to take this nor address it. I was a bit taken back. I was a bit taken back when the suggestion was that I pay half of the locksmith, and I kind of fell backed into a corner on this. Yeah, they did ask my opinion, so I gave it to them, but maybe they weren't ready for my opinion. Anyway. It is rare that someone would lock themselves out of these Peterbilts or Kenworths, but the locksmith said it happens more often than one would think. Now, something I'll add in what I was gonna say, but I took it out. If it were my fault and my truck, and I can then understand having to pay for it. Since it's not my truck, no one provided me a spare key. I didn't yet have time or the opportunity to get one made myself, which I was planning to do, but hadn't been able to do yet. And it's not my fault that the company truck defected and locked me out. I don't feel it's my responsibility to pay for it, even though I was nice enough to front the money and put it on my credit card to save time, fees, and headaches. I do think and feel I should be paid back. That being said, I did get second, third, fourth, and fifth opinions before deliberation to make sure I was thinking clearly. If it was my truck and my driver, I would feel it would be my responsibility to pay for it, especially under these circumstances. Yeah, so if somebody else was my driver and it was my truck and they got locked out of the truck, yeah, it would be my responsibility. It's my truck. The truck's not supposed to lock somebody out of the truck, right? So I'd be like, yeah, we need to have a mechanic look at that, you know? Then I said, maybe we should send Kenworth the bill since it's their defect. On that note, this is where I went off on the deep end. Oh, but before I go there, I was going to say, and I'm glad I kind of took this out, but I was like, you know, if a steer tire, for for an unknown reason decides to pop off the rim, or for no apparent reason, would I be responsible to pay for that as well? That too is a rare fluke occurrence, but it has happened to me and others as well. I'm kind of glad I took that out because that was really off the deep end. But maybe not. It is a rare occurrence. This is a rare occurrence. Just them mentioning me paying half is questionable. Questionable. But yeah, they're trying to get out of expenses. They're trying to save money. I get that. But at my expense, I'm a new hire. That's a red flag. That's a big red flag. Now, if it was my fault, then by all means, I should have to pay for it. And if I didn't want to pay for it and it was my fault, then yeah, that should be a red flag on me. But this was not my fault. This is a, Kenworth Peterbilt defect. Fluke accident. It's never happened to me before. I didn't even know it was possible. Apparently these guys didn't know it was possible either. But they want to pass the buck on to me. Or split the buck, 50-50. It's like, well, maybe. I don't know if that's ethical or not, But if it was my truck and my driver, I would feel bad to make the driver pay for it. Even half. Because it's my truck. It's my problem, I said, on that note, when arriving at REG, Renewable Energy, I forgot who, whatever. Anyways. Or RGE, Renewable Gas and Energy, I think it's RGE. Let's look at my paperwork. No, it's REG. Anyways, when arriving at REG, they said I was supposed to have a hard hat, but one was not provided to me, nor was I told beforehand that I would need one. Now I have to go get that as well. What else do I need to pay for that I was not forewarned about? Any other surprises I need to be expecting? If another rare fluke occurrence happens, am I going to be asked to pay for that as well? So I did add that scenario in, but I took out the other part, And yeah, I mean, are they going to try to get me to pay for something else that randomly happens for whatever reason? I had to pay my own way to come work here, but I overlooked that. You did assist in that, and I appreciate it, but I had to pay you back. Most companies pay to get their drivers to the terminal, then the driver has to find their own way home if they quit or get fired. REG told me Stoller was a cheapskate, but I didn't necessarily believe them. That's kind of a jab, but it's the truth. That's what I was told. If you insist on half, I'll deal with it, but I don't feel it's fair or ethical. I just hope this isn't going to be a pattern of our relationship. If it is, then I guess I made the wrong move in coming here. Yeah, you gotta nip this shit in the bud right away if something like this comes up. I should have a hard hat at home, so that's not a problem if I can find it. But if I'm stuck paying too many company expenses as a company driver, that's going to be a problem. If I was an owner-operator, it would be understandable, but I'm not. Someone else told me I should be making like 1/3 of the load, not 1/4. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, then you already have more than enough to cover the locksmith. On a good note, I do have a spare now, so that won't happen again. And then I screenshotted my conversation with the shop because I swung by the yard to get a spare key. I can swing by the yard in 2 hours if you have a spare key for the truck. He says, I'll have to run up there to get the key, but I'll try and make it before then you'll have a key in your mailbox. I was like, cool, thanks. And then he says, keys in your box. Confirm it works before locking your other key in the truck. I said 10-4, thanks. He goes, no problem, thanks. So he responded. Of course, I worked on this last night and then I sent it at 8 o'clock this morning. And so I made sure my wording, I chose my words carefully. He says, let me try to quickly respond to all of the items you mentioned. Number 1, we asked your opinion on the locksmith, but by no means was it mandatory. I'm glad you have a second key now. With the hard hat, I'm sorry I and Joe forgot to ask you if you had a hard hat or not. If you don't have one, we can supply one. We look at the sign-on bonus to make up the difference for drivers getting to the yard. You see, that's... Yeah. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's right. But anyways, why offer, a sign-on bonus? Because I got to be here so many months to get that sign-on bonus, And then what are they going to do? Nickel and dime me to get that sign-on bonus back? I don't know. Maybe. I can show you average gross drivers are making monthly. After reviewing your file, I see that I made another mistake because I didn't offer you a Stoller hat, t-shirt, and sweatshirt. That's a kiss-ass move. HMD was doing that shit. It's like they were ripping us off. Nickel and dime ripping us off. And then they give us free shirts and stuff to make us feel good. It's like, give me money. That's what makes me feel good. Money pays my bills, not a t-shirt, not a hat. I mean, you give me a t-shirt and a hat and you write it off as advertising. Now I'm walking around with your advertisements promoting you when you're ripping me off. That's just... Why would I do that? I'd be better off to burn your t-shirt, I'm not saying Stoller's ripping me off. I'm talking about HMD and other companies. If a company is on the up and up, they don't need that kind of advertisements. Drivers will advertise for them for free, But, I don't know. People are fucked up. Anyways. So I don't really care about the t-shirt and the hat. Or sweatshirt. I mean, I got those. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Don't try. And I'm not... Okay. He said it was just... They wanted my opinion. They weren't going to make me pay for it. Which is fine. That's cool. But just assuming they were going to make me pay for it, right? So you give me $100 worth of hat, t-shirt, and sweatshirt. It's probably not even that much. Sweatshirt would be the most expensive part. But then take it back by charging me for the locksmith. Does that make sense? You give me a sign-on bonus, a hat, a t-shirt, and a sweatshirt, but then try to nickel and dime me to get all that money back. It's like, you know. And like I said, I'm not saying Stolar's doing this, but other companies might, you know, other companies might. And so anyways. So I responded. This is just a quick response myself. So this one's not well thought out. I just, whatever was on my head, you know, I said, thanks. If I can find my hard hat this week, then, or when I get home, it's no big deal. No need having another one floating around if it's not necessary. Which is true. It's why I didn't make a big deal about the hard hat until this money issue came up. I trust that I will make decent money here. 2 or 3 other drivers said the money is good. So I trust that. I just don't want to get stuck paying company expenses that are the company's expenses, if that makes sense. I know times are hard for all of us, and everyone is trying to pinch pennies, pass the buck, and whatnot. I just can't afford to have the buck passed on to me any more than it already has been, if that makes sense. Thank you for clearing the air. I just tend to be taken advantage of because I'm easygoing, forgiving, nice guy. I have to remind myself sometimes that people take kindness for weakness, so I'm just making sure that doesn't happen. Yeah. You know, nip it in the bud. Don't be a dick, and I try not to be a dick, you know. Don't be a dick about it. But, you know, you see a red flag, you gotta nip it in the bud right away. Or it becomes 2 red flags. And then it becomes 3 red flags. I'm learning this the hard way because I'm fucking easygoing, you know. It may not sound like it, but I am. Usually, you know, it's like a lot of people think I need to get rid of this chick that I got staying on my property right now because she's not putting her money where her mouth is. She's not walking the walk. She's just talking the talk. And yeah, she's got 3 kids, and I don't want to put her out in the cold because it's winter. So I'm giving her till spring to get her head out of her butt. And if she don't, then I'm going to give her walking papers in the spring. Meanwhile, you know, I'm not, you know, coddling her or whatever. Yet she's living on my property for free. She does pay part of the utilities because, but she does try to get out of that. So that's a red flag. You know, she's supposed to be a potential business partner. Business partners bring half to the table, whether it's in money or labor, you know. And labor is actually probably more valuable than the money itself. You know, so it just depends on how you look at it, you know. My time, you know, I value my time at like say $20 an hour or more. Maybe I'm undervaluing myself. I'm probably worth like 30 or 40. But, you know, we'll just say 25. So I value my time at $25 an hour if I was to work for an hourly rate. You know, so if something costs less than that per hour and I can make it myself, I'm just going to buy the product at less than what I value my time for. Because I can go out here and make more money in that same amount of time. Unless, you know, I enjoy doing said thing, you know, like, you know, doing my aromatherapy or my herbology and stuff like that. I enjoy that, you know. I enjoy making my own pills, growing my own herbs, processing my own medicine. God's medicine, free food and medicine. But, you know, so sometimes it just depends on how you look at it. Sometimes, you know, time is more valuable than money. But, you know, when it's like when she talks about doing all these things, I'm out here for a week at a time. And when I come home, it's just like everybody else. Nothing is done. Nothing's different. It's only worse, actually. So, it's like, what do you bring to the table? But I think she's a typical woman, and she thinks she is the table. It's like, no. What do you have to offer besides your presence? Because it's not like she's my woman. It's not like I'm getting a personal relationship from the relationship. It's a business relationship. So what is she bringing to the business? I don't know. So nip it in the bud. That's something I'm gonna have to nip in the bud myself here shortly. Well, come spring. Because like I said, I'm not going to put her and her kids out in the cold. But I'm also not going to pay her bills either. So when you see a red flag, no matter where it is, nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. So anyways, it's almost 10. I'm going to go check out this new place. One good thing about this company, being tanker anyways, being here at Summit, Illinois, tank wash. This is where I started tanking. I was working for Quality Carriers. Right here. It's probably not Quality anymore. Bar Transport, it looks like. But anyways, yep, this is where I started tanking in 2006. Bork has always been crappy. I don't know if they still are or not, but anyhow. Oh, I didn't mark it in this Google account. But anyways, I got it on my other phone. Where's my other phone? It's on the charger in the back. There's a restaurant I'm looking at going to. Portillo's here in town is like the best. It should be right here. What the heck? Yeah, it should be right here. Oh, there it is. Portillo's. These guys are amazing. I've been to other Portillo's. Not as good as this one. If you can bobtail to this one, do it. These guys are the bomb. Bing. Baby. Rudy's. It's just up the street. Oh, I can't walk to it. So yeah, I just go up here to the main road, turn right, come down here before go under the railroad tracks. I think that's overpass there. Turn left and Rudy's is on the right. And I hear good things about them. So let me save them. Rudy's Grill. So since I had Portillo's last night after I got here to the tank wash, dropped my trailer, and it was delicious. They didn't put enough cheese on it this time, but it was still good. I went to the Portillo's in Bloomington. yeah, Bloomington, when I first hired on with these guys. And it was good, tasty good, but it was skimpy as heck. I mean, it had like a third of what the sandwich I had last night had on it. Now, when I said something about it to him, I told him half, but it was actually more or less than half. It was like a third of what I got last night. The Portillo's last night this one up here, they're freaking amazing. And I need to make sure I give them a good review. Okay, I can't give them a review, but I gave them 5 stars. They're the bomb. So you know. Oh well. Anyways. So here's the address. Maybe. Where is it? With the fork. Overview. Here it is. 5532 South Harlem Avenue. Or Illinois 41 or 43. There it is, 43. Illinois 43. So if you're coming from the HMD yard, go out to 43 and head north. Just before you get to I-55, basically. They're on the left. There's an Aldi's across the street on the right, which I plan to go to this morning, maybe, if I have time, which I probably do. The nice thing about these guys is I can off-duty personal conveyance wherever I need to go, which is what I'm going to do here in a minute. They open at 9, I think. 8. So, I need to get more energy drink because I'm out. I mean, I'll be home tomorrow, but it'll save me a trip to Aldi's if I go today. And I need to do laundry. I need to buy laundry detergent. But I'll be home tomorrow. I left my laundry detergent at home. So I got 2 weeks of laundry that I need to do. But anyway, yeah. So I'll just run up there and get some energy drink. And that should be good. I got a bunch of things I got to do when I get home anyway. So I don't really need to be running all over town grocery shopping. I got to do laundry. I got to go buy lumber. I got to put a new floor in this box truck so Sophie can move her stuff out of the storage unit that I'm paying for and into the box truck. So neither her nor I need to pay for storage. But again, if she doesn't get her shit together by spring, she's got to move out. She is getting a job, which is a good thing. She starts today because she ain't doing anything on the properties. So I was like, you know, maybe you need to get a job. She had a job doing exactly what she said she wanted to do on her own, and she let it go, and it was 30 minutes away. Now she's got a job doing taxes 30 minutes away in the other direction. So it's like she could have been doing what she claimed she wanted to do for herself and work for somebody else until she gets on her feet doing it for herself. But she turned it down. That was a red flag. That was a red flag. So, and she hasn't done anything hardly on the land. So, you know, she's got basically free room and board. She just got to help me pay the electric bill. It's the only bill, you know. I'm basically leaving the electric on to keep the pipes from freezing. And then I use power tools when I'm home. So I'm only asking her to pay for half. And technically I'm paying part of her bill because she's got 3 kids. And they're on the computer a lot playing video games, streaming and stuff. So it's like I'm paying more than my share. And she tries to get out of even paying her half. So that's another red flag. So I'm probably, you know, like I said, come spring, she's probably going to be gone. But we'll see what happens. So you see red flags, nip them in the bud. Nip them in the bud. Because otherwise it's just going to get worse. It's like that. I talked about this in a previous video. It's like that one thing I saw, and I got to keep remembering this myself. You have to be careful what you tolerate because you're training people how to treat you. So there you go. I'm going to go look for that meme and I'll post it on my cover. Okay, bye.